Hello. I'm sorry, I had to squeal just a little bit because we're on episode 5 of Word of Honor, and last week was a lot. Last week we got a lot of information. And I'm really excited to see where that goes. And there were lots of flirting, and Wen KeXing has me in the palm of his nut-holding hands. But yeah, so episode 1 is out on YouTube, and episode 2 is out on Patreon, and there's been a lot of comments. I will say this, I know it's a few weeks after the fact, but the moderators have had to flag a lot of comments already where people are trying to compare the book to the series. Don't waste your time. I'm not going to read those comments. Because as I said in episode 1, that I am going to read the novel. So if there is a difference between the series and the novel, guess what? I'm going to find it out when I read the novel. So the moderator's like, people are trying to tell you the difference between the novel and the series. And I'm like, I said in episode 1 I was going to read the novel, so I'll find out then. And they were like, so just save your carpal tunnel, save your wrists. I'm not going to read those comments. So just let me watch the series and love it for what it is, because I'm having so much fun. And then when we get to the novel, we'll find out what the differences are. It'll be amazing. So, and also if I'm missing something or getting something wrong, don't worry. I will figure it out eventually. If not through the series, through the novel. It will happen. You just have to have faith. You got to have patience and faith. I tell my students, you got to be patient. With that said, though, the one comment I do have is from my moderator, Be Happy, for this series, who did say, I wanted to wait until next week, which would have been episode 3, when they were posting this, to see the subtitles that you use, because some translations in episode 2 seem a bit off to me. Reiki, who has supplied me with these episodes, thank you so much, Reiki, it helps out so much, told me that she puts the Viki subs in the files that she sent you. I'm more used to the Yoku channel subs on YouTube, which have a little bit of a difference. I am so fascinated by translation. When I was in graduate school, I did a panel at a conference about fan translations. Now, this was back in like 2010. So it was back, when fan translations were a lot more raw and kind of gritty, and they weren't as official as they are now. It was back when basically, if you didn't have access to the original Japanese text or Chinese text in this case, you were kind of just dependent upon fan translations. And so I did a whole panel talking about how translation is an art form, how translation is so subjective, how we lose meaning every time you translate from one language to another. There is something lost. And so I'm fascinated by it. But now we have all sorts of official translations. But again, they are subjective. And so the Viki subs are what we are using for this series because it's what Reiki is providing me with. But I do appreciate Be Happy telling me about the Yoku subs, because there were 3 specific differences. One, the Viki subs keep referring with Guzhong and Wen KeXing referring to Zhao as a sick ghoul. But in the Yoku subs, he's called a sick dude. Which I didn't think that they were actually calling him a ghost this whole time. I thought it was kind of ironic and funny because I think that Guzhong and Wen KeXing are ghosts. But I think that they're ghosts. I thought them calling him a sick ghoul is kind of like a little ironic, funny play on words. But sick dude does make sense. The cloud steps, as the Viki subs translate it, are swift moving steps, as the Yoku subs translate it, which swift moving and cloud do not necessarily mean the same thing, but I get what they're both trying to allude to. It's just basically a move that seems inhuman, or extraordinary, so I get that. And then Ranger, as the Viki subs translate it, is wanderer, as the Yoku subs, which we talked last episode about the two of them being faraway wanderers, like the ED title would have you believe. And yes, so wanderer makes a lot of sense. Although I do like Ranger because I like comparing Zhao to Aragorn from Lord of the Rings, but that's just me. So I'm super excited about this series. There is a lot going on. And as you saw last week, Whiteboard Coon still has everything from last week up on him. Thank God he's double-sided. Because I kept everything from Word of Honor up on him last week. I'm like, we're going to have to go back to that. and revisit it, because this series has a lot going on and there's lots of characters and lots of things, and it's just keeping track, and I'm really excited about that. But with that being said, we have a lot to talk about. So I am going to start this episode at 1:45, so we're skipping the OP as per usual. But I'm really excited to dive in and see what we get. This episode's a little bit shorter than the last episode, which is like 2 minutes shorter, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when I want to savor every second of it, it's like. But with that being said, I'm super excited because we've made it to Mount Tai. We've made it to Lake Tai. We've made it there, and we've gotten Changling to the place. We've got him to the people, although the reception's been kind of lukewarm. And then all of a sudden, now we do know, going into this, Wen KeXing told the other ghosts to be on lookout, to be on standby, like hang out, because something might go down. And now we know that Shin is there. Changling doesn't have a very good reaction to Shin, and the old couple is there. Strawberry Shortcake couple is there. and several others. So there's a lot that could go down. And I feel like Zhou is going to be like, I just want to die as a beggar in peace. But in any case, we are going to start episode 5, oh my God, of Word of Honor. And we are going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's do it to it. Ugh! Okay, episode 5. What you gonna give us? Oh, we're going back to this. Okay. I love this guy was like, I'm just gonna peace out. Oh, what was that coming out of her sleeves? Oh, she had shooting stars in her sleeves. The glaze has shattered. I'm so curious with Shin. Oh, he's got the little blood. No. Have they converted to Mount Tai? You just took them under your wing. Ah. Oh. Did he? Did he? These adults making decisions for the children. I'm so curious about Shin. Oh. Shin's like, what the fudge? Damn, Shin. Oh. 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 This is getting interesting. Oh. He wants it all. He wants it all. Like Queen is playing in the background. Whoa. Okay, Shin. Everything? Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, I'm this guy. Oh. It's just a scratch. 'Tis but a scratch. You're wounded. The wicked old couple. I love it. Oh, this guy looks suspicious too. They all look suspicious. Wen KeXing with the fan is amazing. Uh-huh. This guy's green robes are amazing, by the way. Let's have some tea at my Sanbai Manor. No, bitch! I like that he at least sticks by his laurels of hating all of them. Oh. Oh. Oh, man, that little self-loathing was interesting. Like I'm gonna guilt trip you. Oh. Shin is so fascinating to me. Word of honor, right? Roll credits. Thanks, bitch. But the kids. He's like, well, I see how it is. I see how it is. Wen KeXing and Zhao are just like, what did we stumble in on? Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, bitch. Oh, bitch. Oh, bitch. Uh-huh. I want Wen KeXing to be able to hear his thoughts and then communicate telepathically. That would be hilarious. Everybody's got their own agenda in this show. Oh, Changling. Aww. And these are the two righteous men who are just friends. We're just nobodies. Oh. Oh. Ho ho. Ho ho. Wen KeXing. I love it! I love it! Xiao's like, they're gonna start talking about us. Ooh. Hello, Pink. This location is gorgeous, by the way. The location's beautiful. Freaking peacocks! Yes! Give me the peacocks! Those are the quietest peacocks I've ever seen. I love these locations. Like, the scenes and the setup are beautiful. I love all the past. Okay, now the peacocks are being loud. Yes. Oh, two peacocks? Two peacocks up front? My great-great-grandmother raised peacocks, and they are, in fact, very noisy. Oh, she's like trying to get that hand in there. Like, oh, come on. Let me stick that hand around you, sir. Oh my God, the peacock decorations. Love, love. Wen KeXing, if I just happen to sneak my hand right over here, you know. What a charmer. What a charmer. Wow. Oh, I mean, he does quote poetry all the time. He can be a kiss ass. Wen KeXing's like, let me just suck up to you just a little bit. Oh ho ho ho. I like Shin Shin's little like robe there. Uh-huh. Oh my God. Oh! Xiao's like, what the fudge? Xiao's like, you're gonna get us in so much trouble. You're getting us too involved. Oh, there's 3 peacocks. Never mind. Shin Shin's like little cape thing is amazing. The fashion. The fashion. Knows how to throw a party. Oh, have a prawn. Let me feed it to you. Zhao is just... Oh. Uh-huh. He married money, man. He married into some money. Where are they? Are they still in town? This guy. Oh. Uh-huh. Everybody's gonna be after it. Right. Everybody's gonna be after it now if they know that it's all scattered. Uh-huh. Oh, nice. I like that. All these old people are just like, we gotta, no rest for the wicked. He's giving off some death flags for sure. So many death flags. All these little kids, they're acting so good. Oh my god. Don't say that. Don't give yourself more death flags. Didn't we say there were ghosts around? Didn't we say they were on standby? What be this? Who's in the red? Who is this? Oh, Broken Sword Villa. There's so many characters. There's so many characters. Oh, I love his robe colors. A female. Oh, I can't imagine who this is. I can't imagine if it's is it an assassin? Oh, I love the funeral paper, but this isn't an assassin. It's one of the. Oh, love instantly. Yes. Oh, I love this. All the funeral paper. Yes, please. Oh shit! Grim Reaper! A femme fatale Grim Reaper! I'm here for it! I would not have her show herself. She's just... Oh. The tragicomic ghost. She just told you to leave. She told you could run away. Why would you go willingly towards her? Why would you do that? That was a bad move. When KeXing's like, can you believe this guy? Not being able to hold his liquor, what? Zhao's like, right in front of our salads? Oh, don't make Changling drink. Yeah. Well, when KeXing's like, look, it's not my business to say anything. I'm just enjoying my walnuts and my prawns. You are so drunk, sir! Ah, good. Take that away from him. Get that away from him. Aww. Aww. Oh, and now we get our two guys finally alone. They're finally alone when KeXing's like, yes! Oh, she's pretty. I'm digging the green room. When KeXing's like, so the sleeping arrangements, can we just take care of those right now? Oh. Oh, okay, so this is his eldest brother. Is this a moment? Warren, are you like into Shinshin? Is this a thing? Are we like getting into this? Why is Shinshin just give it? What? I've been so bamboozled by Shinshin. So many characters. Oh my god, so many characters. This is my new friend and drinking buddy Wen KeXing. Oh, he's like, oh, who me? Oh, Wen KeXing is out here, a social butterfly, making all the friends. He's like, I'm going to talk it up to all of y'all, and then I'll strike. Meanwhile, Zhao is like, I am not here for the party. Oh, but... Oh my God. Do you actually have to vomit? Okay, no. Really? Why is Shinshin going off? We thought he was drunk. Hmm. Uh-huh. What we doing? Are we looking for some glazed armor? Xiao's like, why can't we just have a party? Why? Oh. Why can't we just have a party, huh? Shinshin's gone through like more outfit changes than most characters go through in an entire series, and this has been one episode. Zhao's like, I really shouldn't get involved, but you're acting sketchy as F, so might need to go into that. Uh-huh. Oh, so that's Yu Tianji. Oh. What is happening? Oh, shit. Oh, okay, so that's not Shinshin. What are we doing? Ah! These guys passed out! Getting off like handsy there, aren't we? What? Ghosts! Oh. When KeXing's like, oh, well, what happened? What could have happened here? Oh my God, yes. When KeXing's like, look, I'm your guys' friend. I don't know these ghosts. Never heard of them. Oh, shit. Oh my God! Oh, shit! Oh, no! Holy shit. I did not think we were going to be doing that. Oh, and the other two guys died too. Oh, she went all Joker on them. Oh, the happy ghost. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. But the ghost that he ran towards sounded like a woman. Oh. Wen KeXing. What are you standing there waiting for? Oh. That was a weird camera turn. Okay. Wen KeXing's like, don't worry, I'm here. It's fine. They're not gonna bother us. How would he know? How would he know? How would he know? How would he know? Yeah, exactly. Oh. When KeXing's like, if you say so. Ooh. Oh, ha, ha. When KeXing's like, don't be talking shit about my friends. Well, you could stop talking trash about my bros, but cool. Autumn's Echoes. Ooh. Okay. Oh! Oh! Oh ho ho. Oh, this is the ghost, right? And this was the guy. Oh. What? Oh my God. Oh my God, girl. Oh my God, girl. She's like, nah, no. Girl, oh my God. Oh shit. Oh my God. Oh wow, the alluring ghost. Oh wow. Holy shit. Oh, she's Liu. Okay, Aunt Liu. Oh my God, I love it. She's amazing. Yes, please. She's amazing. Love her already. Oh my God. Yes, please. Alluring ghost. Let's go. Meanwhile, the most innocent of lambs, little Changling. Well, I can't sleep in that bed, so I guess I'll go over here. And like it opens up when KeXing has a whole bed and he's like, look what I have for you. We could be oh, that was kind of creepy. Aww. He's like, I don't want to learn from them. I want to learn from you. It's a bold-faced lie and you know it. Aww. Oh, he can't cry. Don't tell him he can't. Aww. You can shed tears. It's okay. Don't believe these horrible masculine standards. Oh my God, what's this whimsical music? When KeXing's gonna like, ha! This music is too whimsical. When KeXing is going to show up. Oh! Shut up! His little bestie. Wiping away his tears, huh? Wiping away his tears, huh? Come on now. Come on now. Oh. 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 Yeah, who's on the ceiling? Who's on the roof? Who's moving on the roof? Oh, ho, ho, that was what the ninja was doing. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, this was the one guy that chased after the ninja. Who would be able to break in? Well, Heaven's mystery lock, a top secret lock. Oh my God, for real? traitor in my mountain villa. Who was that masked man? Uh-huh. I mean, I don't know if it's Ghost Valley. They seem like they're just having a great time. Uh-huh. In 20 years. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh. I'm interested in this so much. I love his green robes, by the way. 100-year prestige. Interesting. Interesting. Like, Shinshin, what about you? Where's your glazed armor? Did it get stolen? I love that Zhao's just like propping his head up, listening. But you married into this. Well, I mean, you did marry into this. Ah. Okay. Eldest brother wrong. But wasn't the ghost they killed Rong Zhan? Rong Zhao? Were they related? Oh. 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 Oh, wow. Oh, you could do that. You could do that. No, that would solve the problem. But Shinshin's he's too selfish to do it. Oh, you're going to try to spin it that way? But if you let them get it, won't they have died in vain as well? Xiao's like, this seems complicated. Oh! What is Wen KeXing doing? Oh! It is Wen KeXing, isn't it? Does he have the armor? Oh! Oh! Was he the one that snuck in? Oh, Wen KeXing's like, oh, you following me? I mean, I was being quite intentional. Why, when they meet, does there have to be a romantic song? I'm not opposed to it. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Aren't you doing the same? Oh. Mm-hmm. Tigers and wolves will swallow him alive. Oh my God! Uh-huh. Oh. I love that he keeps fanning, like just as a distraction or a nervous tick. Oh. Ooh. Uh-huh. Interesting. Oh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, I love it. Oh my God, really? He's like, why are we doing this? Oh shit. Uh, oh. Whose blood? Oh. Oh. Wen KeXing, leave him, don't tease him. Oh, are we doing a cut sleeve metaphor right here, right now? Uh-huh. Exactly. He's like, son of a bitch. Oh, okay. Oh, ho, 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 ho. No cheating. Wen KeXing's like, I win. Oh, it's him. Oh, okay. But then that couldn't have been Wen KeXing. Oh, okay. Okay. Or is it? Well, did you put him up there so you knew already? Ah! It's the middle of the night! Wait for me! I love how talkative Wen KeXing is, and Zhao's just like, oh my god, stop. Ooh, that was really close. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh. Hmm. But who did? Oh. Hmm. Iron Hook. Hmm. When KeXing's like, oh, could it be a ghost? What? Wait, what could it be? Him sing so in awe. Oh my god! Oh my god, Wen KeXing, I cannot with you! You're so close to him. Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Ah! Oh my god! Ah! I'm a tiny cicada afraid of ghosts. Oh my god. Oh my god. So now what? The coffin home? When KeXing's expression changed very quickly. Oh. Dare be a ghost in here? Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. I mean, the drapery is ominous. Oh, oh, ho, ho, oh, ho, 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 oh, ho, ho, oh, oh, well. I I thought the hanging ghost died, though. What is this? Oh. He's like, quit complimenting me. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You. Oh. Who are you? Ah! 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 A good person. Philanthropist Wen. Ah! He's like, I'm kind of the chief. I don't know if you knew about this. Oh my God. This is such a creepy set piece. Nope! Little Apple! How'd you get here? No! Oh man, no, I don't like any of this. It's creepy. Oh, bitch, no. Nah. And the crane and the puppet. No. No. We're good. We're good. Just like, boom, kick the door open. There you go. What? This is such a spooky atmosphere. Oh, Wen KeXing, I cannot get over. I'm obsessed with his facial expressions. Obsessed. Oh. Well, somebody lit that. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, the atmosphere, the music, everything is so creepy. Wen KeXing acts like he doesn't know who to expect here, which is interesting. Because he's seen... Oh! Oh! Oh, hey! Like me? Oh my God. Oh, fudge. Oh, muffin. Oh, muffin. Oh, muffin. What? 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 I'm sorry, what? Oh, 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 oh. What? Is this preying off of their memories? Is it showing them like something from their memories? Oh my God. And that's why Wen KeXing is seeing that? Is this supposed to be him when he's a kid? Is that supposed to be his dad? Oh. 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 Oh my God. He's like, wait a minute. This isn't right. You're dead. Yeah. Oh, ooh. Ew! No! Absolutely not! Oh no! I'm here! Oh, what? Oh shit. Oh. Oh. What about him? Did he figure it out, I'm assuming? You didn't question it. Uh! Uh! Oh! 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 Wait! Wait! What? Oh! Oh! I guess we should talk about this. There's a lot going on. Oh my god, there is a lot going on in this story. I had to get some of Whiteboard Kun off, but Whiteboard Kun is slowly getting more and more complicated. So I put the four assassins, the four scorpion assassins, they're not even connected to the Ghost Valley as far as we know. They're just four assassins in a totally different realm. And it's like, oh my god. And so now we have this potential ghost or this potential entity. We don't know if it's a ghost or if it's an assassin or what it is. We think it's a ghost, but they are able to use a hallucination drug and or spell that causes you to hallucinate and go back into into the past with your child, your childhood and all that. So, Zhao was able to get out of the hallucination by figuring out what it was, cutting his hand to give himself pain so that he can bring himself back to reality, and then realize, oh wait, no, you're dead, sir, which we'll talk about because we have found out that the leader of what's his face? The leader of the Four Seasons was the guy that I thought I wrote his name up here, but maybe I did not. But we'll put his name up here in a minute. But the leader of the Four Seasons is somebody that, or the last, yes, it was from last episode. I erased it. From last episode, the leader of the Four Seasons, the one that had the sword that gave the white clothes sword to Zhao, was there with the one kid that was Zhu Zhao. So because Wen KeXing's identity, I know it's a secret. I know that they're teasing us. I know that they've probably given us all the clues, and I just have to piece together as we go. So I don't want spoilers, but we'll figure it out. But it's like, is Wen KeXing the chief? Is Wen KeXing the ghost of Zhu Zhao? I think that you could make a case for either one at this point. At this point, we know that Wen KeXing, he basically is having a hallucination right now where he thinks he's with his dad and his mom, but he knows Zhao. But it could be one of those things like, when you have a dream and in your dream there's just a random person and it doesn't make sense, but in the dream it makes sense. I think Wen KeXing trusts Zhao so much that he's just like, oh, you're here too, Zhao. Oh my gosh. But then the question is, of course, is that the case, or is he Liu Zhao, his ghost, and he's come back to haunt, and be here in this Ghost Valley or whatever? Is that the case? We don't know. How long has it been? Did Liu Zhao die around the time? Well, no, he didn't die around the time of Rongzhan. Didn't die around the time of that. No, that's not right. It was only a year or two before Zhao put in the nails. So that's not, the timeline's not correct there. But I don't know. I don't think I don't personally think that Wen KeXing is Liu Zhao. I don't think that he's the ghost of Liu Zhao. I don't. I think that he is a ghost who is the chief, and I think that he's having a flashback and he's stuck in this hallucination. And I think he sees Zhao and is like, oh, hey, you're here too. Oh my gosh. And he's like, don't bully him. He's my friend and all of this. And he's just merging the timelines together in this dream. Now, Zhao's like, how does he know my real name? I've not told him my real name. How does he know? I think that Wen KeXing has heard enough of Zhou Zishu that he's had the suspicion in his head that this has been Zhao the entire time. But rather than just come out and say it, because then that would implicate, how do you know? How do you know that I'm Zhao? How do you know all this? Then Wen KeXing would have to explain himself, and that seems like something he doesn't want to do. So instead he's just like, oh, we'll just call you Zhao Zhu. And but I think he's known all along who Zhao actually is. He would just rather Zhao come out and say it than pressure him to reveal his secrets, because then Wen KeXing would have to reveal how he knew that. Well, now the cat's kind of out of the bag, and so Zhao's going to be like, how'd you know my name? And he's going to be like, well, that's your name? Whoa. So I love the idea. I've been waiting for this moment because I've been kind of mulling around in the back of my head. Like, Zhao is very passive. He does not want to get involved. He does not want to get involved in anything. He just wants to live out the last 3 years of his life and die in pain because he's, just self-inflicting as for his atonement. But I've been waiting for the moment where someone he cares about is going to force him to get involved. And we've seen that happen with Changling and the vow that he made that got him involved. And he's got this big heart, so he can't help it. So I have been waiting for the moment where Wen KeXing would be put into danger. Not a lot of danger, because Wen KeXing seems like he can handle it, but enough of a danger. And that would allow Zhao to show he cares by stepping in. And this moment where Wen KeXing seems to be in the hallucination and trapped in that world, Zhao's going to have to help him out. And it's going to be like, what does he do with that and what does it lead to? And so I'm really excited. I can't believe that I want to watch episode 6 right now and I'm going to wait. Anyway, I guess I'll wait. Fine. Be that way, show. But there's a lot going on in this episode, and Shin is so wild to me because a few episodes back was like, oh, Shin seems like he's just this surface level brute character. He's just brawn and no brains, but he is kind of brains, right? He is kind of brains, but also he's like, Shin, he's also kind of arrogant, but then he's also kind of hard to read because you think he's surface level, but then you reveal that no, he wants the glazed armor, and I don't feel like Shin is like the true villain of the series, though. The series seems to be wanting to paint him as that. And if I've learned anything from MXTX, you cannot judge a book by its cover, right? You cannot judge things on surface level. So, which I did with Shin from the beginning. But it does seem like Shin is maybe clouded by his ambition that he wants the power of the glazed armor and he wants it to stay within the 5 lakes because of this allegiance he has with them, which I do think is genuine. I do think he loves his brothers, his 5 brothers, but I feel like it might be one of those situations where how much of that love is surface level and how much of it is genuine. So he seems very abrasive. He seems very much like stubborn. He wants to get what he wants and he doesn't want to concede anything, which is funny because the other guy that is at Lake Tai, he is Sanbai, he's very passive and pacifist. And like, I just got money. I don't really want anything else. I'm wealthy. What else do I need? Whereas Shin, his ambitions are a lot more like, no, I want the armor. I want the 5 lakes to have the armor. And I want all of us to share it. Because, yeah, the one guy for Sanbai makes a good point. He's like, if we just destroy this one piece of the armor, nobody's ever going to be able to open up the armory, solve all of our problems. Then it won't matter. And Shin just can't do that. He's like, oh, well, but that would be like all the people that died for us to get this armor would be in vain. And it's like, I don't think them dead bodies would care. I don't think they'd care. So it's like Shin just showing his colors there that he couldn't go through with destroying the armor. And I'm like, So somebody's taken it. So someone has taken the glazed armor from Lake Tai, has been stolen. Now, we found the 2 men that ran off, supposedly with it. Supposedly. but they don't have it. So, or if they did have it, they didn't, Wen KeXing and Zhou didn't search the bodies. So I felt like that transition from finding the thief to the coffin house, I felt like there was something missing there. And I feel like the novel is going to expand upon that. And so I don't want to know what that is. Obviously, we're going to get to the novel. But when we get to the novel, I'm going to, in the back of my head, be like, okay, what was the transition here? Because it did feel like something was off. And maybe it was a monologue, or maybe it was something that they couldn't just show us. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, what's interesting is that we're coming to find out that the alliances between these 5 sworn brothers are not as strong as Shin and others would lead you to believe. I mean, the old couple kind of hinted at it. They were like, the old couple was like, y'all think that you're brothers, but you don't like each other at all. And you don't know each other at all. And Shin's like, what? We're like besties. And then you get to this, to our dear Al Lizy, who R.I.P., he's like, no, your sworn brother told me to take the 2 kids in and to protect them, and that's what I'm doing. And the kids confirm it. They're like, yeah, our dad said to let us go with this guy. And then Shin, who is all about sworn brotherhood, is like, well, your dad was sick. He didn't know what he was talking about. Rather than admit that, yeah, maybe you bros aren't as close as you want to think that you are, and you have all this hidden animosity and mistrust around each other, Shin wants to like say that they're all kumbaya best friends, and that is clearly not the case from what we've seen. And because then even back with Changling was kind of uncomfortable around him, like, I don't know you. And even around the Mount Tai guy, Changling's like, I don't know you. And then you find out that the one sworn brother that Shin came immediately when he heard he died, the old couple were like, you didn't come around him at all. You don't know him. Where have you been all this time? So it's so wild that it's like they swore they were 5 brothers that loved each other and were sworn battle buddies. But then when it comes down to it, there's a lot of mistrust between them, and there's a lot of selfishness between them, and they all have their own agendas, and they all took a piece of the glazed armor, and now they all are handling the missing aspect of the glazed armor for each of their sects in different ways. Now, do we still believe that that they think Changling has the glazed armor for his sect? Do we still think that they think that? And that's why everybody's after Changling, even though Changling's not really given any hint to it? We'll see. Al Lizy was interesting. And even Al Lizy, like the whole time when the other brother showed up, he was acting suspicious as fudge. He was just, the glances he was giving and like looking around like, I don't know what to do. Every adult figure except for Zhou is suspicious. Even Wen KeXing, every other adult figure in this show, except for Zhou, who we know as the protagonist, and we followed him along, we know his MO, we know how he is, everyone else is suspicious. They're all hiding something. And it's like, oh my God, but why? I am so amazed at the intrigue, and we don't know who to follow. So then we have the guy we have like, why are you with Al Lizy? We have him show up. I love his green robes. The green and the gold. Classic. I love when KeXing and Zhou, for 80% of this episode, we're just hanging out like, we're just here to party. Especially Wen KeXing, which we'll talk about Wen KeXing and that whole banquet scene. But Wen KeXing's fan is a supporting cast member at this point. That fan had my attention the entire time. Let me tell you. Also, the little scrape on Shin's hand, the littlest scrape where the one brother's like, brother, you're wounded. I was like, he scraped that on a tree, bitch. Like, that was so funny to me. And so then they're like, okay, what do we do? He's like, why don't you come to my manor? And Al Lizy's like, no, I don't think so. I feel like Al Lizy thinks that the one Mount Tai or Lake Tai sworn brother, I feel he believes that he's naive and also is kind of blinded by his wealth. Like, he has all this money and all these parties and everything's very lavish and luxurious, but that kind of blinds him and makes him an easy target. So I feel like Al Lizy's like, no, I don't want to go hang out with you because I feel like we would be targeted. And plus, that's kind of putting 2 pieces of glazed armor at the same time in the same place. So, I don't know. My thing is, supposedly the kids had a piece of the glazed armor. Did Al Lizy have it and then he got it taken away? Or who's watching the kids now? Because 2 of the guards and Al Lizy are dead. So who's watching the kids? Where are they at? I really just want the Ghost Valley to have like this babysitting service where they turn out to be really nice, and the Ghost Valley characters are like, we're watching these kids. Like, what? Wen KeXing said we should do that. I don't know. There is this big discrepancy though of the ghosts, and then the Ghost Valley and the actual ghosts. Like we've had the hanging ghost, the lustful ghost, the alluring ghost, the happy ghost, which is curious in all of this. So the ghosts that we have in the Ghost Valley, we are going to put them over here. We have the happy ghost that does like a full-on Joker. We have the lustful ghost, which is the one that Guzhong got onto because he was trying to mistreat concubines. Then we also have the alluring ghost. Love her! The alluring ghost. Love her. Her actress is gorgeous and she's amazing. I love her already. And then we have the hanging ghost, which the hanging ghost is probably the most interesting because I thought he died. I thought whoever's in the red killed him. So we don't know, but we've not seen for sure if somebody's imitating his spells or how that works. I don't know how that is. So we're going to put question mark by that. But so far we've met 4 ghosts. We have met 4 of the 10. 4 of the 10 ghosts, correct? And, or at least we've heard of them. We haven't met the happy ghost, but we've at least heard of them, right? So lustful and alluring and all this. The happy ghost is interesting. So yeah, so Al Lizy takes off with the kids, and Shin's like, don't trust anybody, and so they walk off. And Shin kind of like tries to guilt trip the old man a little bit, and he's like, you know, you could barely keep up against 2 old people with throwing stars. You think you're going to handle a ghost? And we see how that goes. So anyway, they take off. Now, granted, there were like 6 disciples, the 2 kids, and Al Lizy. And so far, Al Lizy and the 2 oldest seem to be the ones that die. Although, that's still leaving the 2 kids with like 4 other kid disciples. How safe are they going to be? Does not bode well. So anyway, then Changling comes over, and Changling's like, hey, 5th uncle. And Shin's like, oh, you. Shin, love the wardrobe. Love the suede. The blue suede is amazing. Living. Also, the one guy that's the brother of the Lake Tai sect, does he have a thing for Shin? Because he comes up and is like totally IFing Shin from the moment and helps him go back and lay down after he's drunk. I'm just saying, he lingers. He lingers a bit. I'm like, are you lingering for reasons? I'm so curious. But yeah, Shin, great wardrobe, sketchy. I don't know what to think of him. I thought I had him figured out, but no, he's quite interesting. And then he's like, these 2 righteous men. Now, here's the thing. He's like, these 2 righteous men escorted Changling to Sanbai Manor. And he's like, oh, I was neglectful, so I didn't get your names. And Zhao and Wen KeXing handle it very, very differently. When Zhao's like, we're 2 nobodies, not worth mentioning. Forget we were even here. Don't even notice. And then Wen KeXing's like, actually, my name is Wen KeXing, and this is Zhao Zhu, and we're just here to party. Which is interesting because I feel like Wen KeXing's name is a moniker. I feel like it's not real. He has a real other name. This name is just an alias. But the fact that they take 2 very different approaches to their stealth. Zhao is like, just don't notice that I'm even here. I've never been around. You don't know me. Totally chill. Don't even worry about me being here. Whereas Wen is wanting to kiss up and be your best friend. And then you will lower your guard around me. And then I can do whatever I want. That's kind of like that's his MO. And it's highly effective. He's so charming. He instantly just kisses ass and charms with words. And he's just such and I love Zhao is the only one who's not impressed. Zhao's just like, oh my God. I could Zhao's sassy annoyance at Wen KeXing's like just pontiffering, like putting himself on a pedestal. Love it. Absolutely love it. Also, the location of this set, I'm sure we've seen it in other shows. I don't know if we've seen it in The Untamed or not. I live. All of it. It's so beautiful. It's so gorgeous. All the food, all of the scenery. It is absolutely stunning. The peacocks. My great-great-grandmother raised peacocks, and my mother has always wanted to get them. They're very noisy. They screech. You hear it a little bit in this episode. They are very noisy. Beautiful. Also, if you don't know anything about peacocks, these are all male peacocks. Male peacocks have the beautiful alluring feathers to attract a mate. Female peacocks are just brown. They're pretty boring looking. But I feel like peacocks is very an apt choice, especially for Wen KeXing. So yeah, spare no expense at this party. And Wen KeXing's like, what a rave. I love this. Also, I love the entire time that Wen KeXing and Zhao are seated facing each other. They're in this close proximity. I kept waiting for Wen KeXing to like sneak his hand towards Zhao to be like, hey, Ben, hey, man, what's up? Like, I love it. Like, even the servant girls are like, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, so they have dancers. Everything's great. I just absolutely live for the two of them, for them just facing each other. And Wen KeXing, there are no boundaries. There is no personal space. He will get up in your personal space, and he is very apt to get as close to Zhao as he possibly can. And Zhao's just like, I don't know what to do with this. I love it. I love the look. Gong Jun, who is the actor that plays Wen KeXing. My God. He has me in the palm of his wee nut holding hand, because every micro expression, everything that he does in this series, Zhao, you have to ignore him, because otherwise, how have you not fallen for him already? He would have to do very little to have me doing whatever he wants to. He would have to do very little. And I love that Zhao's just like, oh my God, please make it stop. I cannot. And he just turns around. Also, I love the peacock dinner placings. I also love whenever he turns around. I'm sorry. Whenever he turns around. Oh my God. I will get this right. I want to get this right on here. Oh, come on now. No. My whole thing has just suddenly gotten very annoying at the moment. Go back here. I love whenever he turns around towards the placement, which the peacock placement on the table, amazing. But I love Changling just looks at him like, you two guys, like Changling understands. He knows. He's like, right here in front of my banquet. And Shinshin's like, you seeing it too? Oh my God. Shinshin's like shoulder swayed, like cape. Freaking love that. That's amazing. Awesome. So yeah, Wen KeXing's like, what an awesome party. And he just sucks up hardcore to the hostess with the mostest. So yeah, also want to make note that also sitting at the table is the the Lake Tai's brother. And he is like hanging out with Shinshin. I think there's something there. He's like, thank you for acting to help our 5 Lakes Alliance. So like, man, Zhao sure knows how to throw a party. And he's like, want a prawn? If he was trying to offer oysters to Zhao, which are an aphrodisiac, then I'd be like, sir, come on now, sir. But when KeXing's like, I will totally feed you this prawn if you'll open your mouth up. I just love Zhao's being like, I don't want the prawn, son of the bitch. They're also kind of phallic shaped, so I wonder if maybe that's part of it. He's like, here, have this thing that kind of looks like a dick. And then Zhao's like, no, I don't want it. It's great. My VPN's acting up just a tiny bit. So I'll make sure that I get it right back on there. But yeah, they have this toast. And then the other people show up and they go to greet them. And then Wen KeXing's like, here's the prawn. We'll take it. I really like Wen KeXing's robes. I know I've said that before, but seeing them up close in this episode, they're really good. I love the outfits, and I love his especially. I also love, he's like, try it. And Zhao just rolling his eyes is amazing. I love it. And Wen KeXing's like, I will wear you down, sir. Just you wait. So, Window of Heaven, Archives Only wrote. Okay, so Zhao is talking about how what he's learned about the brothers is, so Zhao Jing, I feel like Zhou Zishu and Zhao Jing, it's Zhou Zishu, Zhao Jing, the ow and the o. I'm gonna mix those up pronouncing them. They are not related. But so the great warrior of Sanbai, he read in the archives that he married the only daughter of West Zhejiang's previous observer and is very wealthy. So basically married into money. That's how he got all the money. He married a lady that had a lot of family money, old money, and got through it. I love in this episode that we get a lot of Zhou's monologues. I love that. I love that Zhou Zishu, we get a lot of his monologues, which is a lot of fun. We haven't gotten that a lot lately, so it's good to get inside of his head, hear what he's thinking. But yeah, how is he so grand? No wonder people say he's like this generous figure in Chinese history. So then we cut to Ao Lizy and the crew, and we hear this guy running away from the ghost. He has this big monologue to the kids about how, like, live on, don't worry about me. If something were to happen to me, death flag, death flag, death flag. It was just like all these death flags. The kids did a really good job acting, though. They did a really good job acting through that moment, though. But then this guy runs out of nowhere asking to be saved. He's from the Broken Sword Mountain Villa was his name. We get his name. I loved his red robes. But yeah, so he had, what does his thing say on here? He screams for help, running away from seemingly the alluring ghost, saying Mu Yunge. Yeah. And he begs them to save him, but then the alluring ghost shows up. I love the alluring ghost so much. I love the funeral paper raining down. I love that she says those who break the hearts of others will eventually have theirs broken. She's this vengeful ghost that's after men and others that have like broken the law and have done wrong. Oh, I love it. So here's the thing. The alluring ghost, I feel like we have a situation where we have a group, we don't know who, that is imitating the Ghost Valley ghosts. Because yeah, Wen KeXing told them all to hang out outside of Sanbai Mountain, being like, hey, just hang out by Lake Tai. If I need you, be on standby. Might happen, might not, who knows, but just be around. So it would make sense that while the ghosts are there, they're not just going to sit there twiddling their thumbs. They're going to be like, well, I'm here. What are we going to do? And if they're all ghosts that are like avenging based on their past, then it would make sense that the alluring ghost would be like, well, while I'm here, I heard this asshole killed his wife and unborn child. Let's punish him while we're here. Makes sense. But what I think is happening is that there is a group imitating the Ghost Valley ghosts that are trying to give them a bad name, imitating them, and not only imitating them to hurt others, but to create this false narrative that the Ghost Valley ghosts are after the glazed armor and are after the sex. Now, the chief did say that they wanted to find the glazed armor, and if you find the glazed armor, they'll make you like leader of the 10 ghosts. So that does check out, but I feel like finding the glazed armor and killing all of the sex are two different things. I feel like the chief told the other ghosts, go find the glazed armor, bring it back to me, and we'll take it away from the Five Lakes Alliance. But the chief didn't say, go massacre the 5 sects and start a war. He just said, go find the hanging ghost, get the glazed armor back, let's go. And that was it. Whereas I think there's another group imitating the ghosts that are trying to start a war and use that war as a decoy while they get the glazed armor for themselves. That's what I think. That's where I'm at. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, but that's just what I believe. But she takes away Mu Yunge and says his time is up and drags him away, and then says, before the throne of the list of the unfaithful owner, you are an old Taoist, and says, those who want to live, hurry up and scram. Owner of the list of unfaithful tragicomic ghost. Now the tragicomic ghost, is that the happy ghost? I feel like whatever it was, I was like, I don't know why Ao Lizy ran towards the ghost. That seems like such a stupid thing to do because the ghost literally said, just leave. I've already got my guy. Go away. And Al Lizy like ran straight towards it instead, which seems like such a stupid move. If the ghost tells you to leave, just go. It felt very out of character. And it felt very weird because he's been trying to watch over these kids and protect the armor and get out of there. But it's like, why would you suddenly go after this ghost instead of just running away with the kids? That seems against your MO. So I don't know what to make of that yet. It feels suspicious. So I don't know what to make of it. But I feel like we're going to find out more as we go. Anyway, so Shin is totes drunk and tries to convince Changling to drink. I like that Wen KeXing, who really doesn't care what people do, he just cares about Zhou. He looks over to Zhou being like, what are you going to do about this? Because Zhou clearly doesn't want Changling to be put into a bad or vulnerable situation, which he is very much being put into. And so when KeXing looks over to Zhou, like, are you going to interrupt this? What are you going to do? Like, just to see how he acts. And luckily it doesn't come to that when KeXing's like, okay, we'll let this play out. I like that he's sitting there eating peanuts. Again, eating nuts, y'all. Not being subtle at all. But Shin tries to get Changling to drink. And he's like, well, you should learn to drink. Your dad can handle a lot of liquor. There seemed to be like an unspoken kind of father issue in that moment. Because Zhou seemed to kind of take like a little bit of umbrage with Shin when he's like, your dad can handle a lot of liquor. Why can't you? And Zhou seemed to have a reaction to that. So I don't know if that's something we're going to touch on later. But I'm glad that the one sworn brother, Zhao Jing, was like, or Zhao Jiang was like, hey, let's not have him drink, and like took that away. Like, I'm glad they respected Changling and didn't make him do something he didn't want to. I'm glad that was the case, right? So the brother ends up, taking him off, to go lie down. The brother that I think has a total crush on Shin, as you do. So they send Changling back. And meanwhile, the one bro puts Shin down on the bed, tucks him in, when he made sure that pillow was ever so fine. I think there's something there. Because then he stares at him and he watches him as he walks away. So Song Huairen, yeah, the disciple. So Song Huairen, we're going to put him on here. Because we're going to come back to him, I believe. I think he died. But yeah, I thought he had a thing for Shin. Or maybe he was making sure that Shin wasn't going to be in the way. But he shuts the door and like took him to bed, shut the door there. But then Shin wakes up, right? But then he wakes up like he wasn't actually drunk. And I'm like, but what? Why were you pretending? So then the leader of the famous Mount Hua sect. Okay. Yu Chiu Feng. Okay. And this is his son, Yu Tianji. So then we have the Mount Hua sect. We have the Mount Hua sect, which is Yu Chiu Feng. And then his son is Yu Tianji. So they're suspicious. They're just there. And Yu Tianji is the one that stumbles across, I think, Huairen. So yeah, he reminded me a little bit of Shin at first, so I was confused for a second. I'm like, this is my new friend Wen KeXing. And Wen KeXing's like, I'm a friend. I'm making friends. Wen KeXing is adorable. I love him. I love him so much. He's like, oh, how did you know? Also, he's shown some 5 o'clock shadow in this part of the episode with filming. Here for it. Here for it. Yes, sir. So they're like, okay, Master Yu and Master Sect Leader Yu and Master Yu. And yeah, Wen KeXing is just adorable. So Zhou's go-to avoid talking to people is pretending he's going to throw up as drunk. Makes sense. But then we see Liu. I thought it was Shin at first, but it's not. It's Liu going that way towards the secret hall where presumably the glazed armor was. But then we see the one, which is Song. We see him run off. I love the show's like, man, things are really lively here. Yes, things are going down as we speak. So yeah, so then they get called out saying something's happened at the main gate. We see all the funeral paper. I liked it when KeXing's like, We see all the funeral paper lying around, and then they look over, and sure enough, there's bodies hanging, which is Al Lizy and two of the other of the disciples. And they've all had like the Joker smile put on them. Now the question is, as Zhou, I noticed Wen KeXing did not come out with Zhou. That is something to note. Wen KeXing was not there with him. He was back with Chengling. So they say this is the happy ghost mark. My thing is, very similar to the hanging ghost back at Chengling City, why would the happy ghost have attacked and made this mark? Especially when KeXing was like, didn't give an order, right? Because I think he's the chief. He didn't give an order to do anything. So why would they do that? And why would they make a scene and put it up there? So I feel like that was a decoy. That was obviously a decoy, and they kind of figured that out too. It was just to convince them to come out and think it was a ghost. And the one guy kind of figures it out like, oh, something, the happy ghost, Lake Mirror and then Lake Tai. He always displays the bodies after killing them. But it seems like this time the Ghost Valley has come for the Five Lakes Alliance. But that's what it seems like. But then when KeXing is like, they're all kind of imitating the Ghost Valley and not doing a very good job of it. Right? So then they think that Chengling is being targeted. They go back, and when KeXing's like, I've been here all along. I've been watching over him. We're good. That was a crazy transition to the two of them just standing there at the Joyful Moon Pavilion. So Chengling says he's okay. I like the one guy was because the song, the Sanbai Mountain leader, he was like, hey, are you okay? And then immediately this you guy comes in and he's like, well, what was that person for the Ghost Valley? And Chengling's like, yo, I don't know. I'm just here. And then when KeXing has to kind of step in and be like, the people just now were a few men wearing ghost masks. I liked it when KeXing's like, hey, I'm speaking from experience because I kind of know my bros. Those weren't them. I love this conversation because he's like, and Zhou is like, what do you mean? He's like, they wanted to take advantage of the mess and kidnap, but their martial arts skills aren't very good. They ran the moment I started fighting. I bet they did because I knew you were going to kill them. So then he's like, it is indeed the Ghost Valley. I like that when KeXing, he laughs. He's like, I just told you it wasn't. The one guy was like, oh, it's the Ghost Valley. When KeXing's like, no, it's a bunch of dudes imitating them. And I fought them. They're giving an insult to the Ghost Valley. It's not them. And then there's you guys going, so it is the Ghost Valley. And when KeXing's like, if you say so, but I just told you. What did I just say? He's like, they were total trash. The Ghost Valley doesn't live up to its reputation, if that's the case. And their admiral, upon meeting you, their reputation became so different. So different. I'm like, and Zhou is kind of like reading between the lines, being like, what are you trying to say, Wen KeXing? So yeah, now, of course, Song is like, you saved Chengling. Thank you. I don't know how to thank you. You're so kind. And he's like, well, you could believe what I'm telling you. Then we have in this Autumn's Echo Room, oh my God. So the alluring ghost takes the form of this man's former lover, right? Takes her form and says, you killed me and my child, and I'm going to make you pay for it. But then when he looks up at her, she doesn't have a face, which is so freaking cool. Like she dons a different face of the person that was his former lover. And then her like fellow like ghost maidens come in. I love they have the white and the red like together. And then she takes off the mask and oh my God, I love her. She's gorgeous. She has such a unique face. Like her facial structure, her bone structure is so interesting. And I'm saying this in the most complimenting way. She has just a beautiful, unique face. I don't know how to describe it. She's gorgeous. But yeah, they all come in with the lanterns and the white and the red robes. I love her design. Her aesthetic is amazing. Alluring ghost. Love. And then she like just throws the mask behind her like, you scared the bastard who used and deserted to death. Sister Liu, you're amazing. Now, the one lady here kind of looks like the assassin a little bit. I don't know if she's playing a double role. Maybe not. But she has a very... Maybe it's the hair that's throwing me off. We'll see if he dares to do evil deeds in the future. He won't have a chance in this life. We'll see if he's reincarnated as a human in the next life. I guess it's just the hair. She's so pretty, though. But they're like, your transformation is godlike. So my thing is, they said Auntie Lo, not Liu. I thought for a second this was the ghost that Gu Zhong was talking about last episode. No, her name is Liu, not Lo. So it's a different auntie. There was one in the Ghost Valley that had white hair. Maybe it was her they're talking about. Uh-huh. And she's like, oh, well, it's nothing. I could teach all of you how to do it. And they're like, oh, please, please teach us. They remind me of, in Monty Python, the tower, where she's like, my name is Zoot and Dingo. Like, they remind me of all the women there. I love it. So she's like, okay. So yeah, they just seem like, the ghosts just seem like they're just having a good time. Just living up their ghost lives. You know, no big deal. This little conversation with Changling, though, where Zhou tells him to stop crying. It's not manly. I do feel for that. I don't like the idea of the masculine trope of men can't cry, because I think it leads to toxic masculinity. But, you know, who am I to say about this and its historicalness? But anyway, so Zhou compares the idea of crying to a scene that he remembered back with his bestie Liu Zhao. So he remembers that on the bridge, which, damn, the whimsical music, all of that. I wonder if that was when the hallucination was starting to kick in, but that seems too early. But yeah, so we see, it looks like, it appears to be, whenever Zhou was younger, he sees his friend crying. Now, when he wipes the tear from his eyes and says, you can't cry, and he's like, I know I won't cry, that seemed a little bit, you know. I could be wrong. Maybe he's just remembering things. But anyway. So then he goes across and is walking through the woods, and he sees Wen KeXing leading. First he finds out that they stole the glazed armor from a very mindful and demure hiding spot. So, and that's when they have the conversation about breaking the armor and possibly, you know, stopping everything, and Shin just can't do it. I love the idea of the tiles being removed from the roof and Zhou kind of like listening in. Also, him just like casually listening in, like, yeah, that seems like a thing. That seems like a choice. Love. Love, 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 love. But anyway, so he ends up following Wen KeXing. I feel like Wen KeXing is trying to lead Zhou around to figure out what's going on and trying to like help him piece things together. And of course, he uses the smoke bombs so that Song can't figure out who it was. And he's like, oh, hey, how's it going? And of course, every time they fly through the air together and land, there has to be a romantic song playing. I'm like, censors, you were asleep at the wheel. He's like, oh, hey, friend. He's like, thank you for helping me to stop the two of them. He's like, you usually love to bully me, but when dealing with outsiders, he says that you're able to understand who are and who are not close to you. I love this show's like, did you, instead of being a guest, you became a thief in the shadows. He's like, did you steal? I like that he kind of suspects that Wen KeXing stole the piece at first, because he's like, who could get past me without me detecting them? This guy. And Wen KeXing is like, oh, well, surely you jest. He's like, no. He's like, you're trying to deceive just as much as I am. And he's like, Changling is naive, so otherwise this group of tigers and wolves will try to consume him at some point. So then they talk about you running after the masked man, and he's like, who is that? And he's like, oh, well, let's find out. And so I like also that Wen KeXing, who already knows that there's the wires there, like Wen KeXing is a step ahead of us. So we think, except for the end of the episode, he was a step ahead, and now he's stuck in the hallucination. But he saves Zhou from getting cut by the wires. I love the concern on his face when he like stops him. He's like, oh, no, let's not do that. Let's be safe. And then there's the idea of the blood and everything. So it is the real hanging ghost. I love the idea that he's like, this time it's the real hanging ghost. Or so we think. I thought the chief killed the hanging ghost. But if that's the case, did Did Wen KeXing, if Wen KeXing is the chief, did he catch the hanging ghost and then say, you're going to do exactly what I'm telling you to do, or I will kill you? And then did he make the hanging ghost put all of this in place? Possibly. Or is it another imitation? And then they talk about, well, the hanging ghost that Ajahn killed was a fake from back at Changling's sect. So what does that say? Zhu Fang has been famous. What does it say here? Zhu Fang has been famous for 30 years. I'm guessing Zhu Fang is the hanging ghost. If he could be defeated by a lying little girl, then the people who were killed by him wouldn't be able to sit still in their coffins. Okay, so the hanging ghost is called Zhu Fang. Okay. And Zhou Zishu reveals that he also thought it was a fake that was killed back there. I'm like, you two are on the same wavelength in so many ways. You just need to talk it out, right? And when KeXing's like, oh, well, of course. The saying is people shouldn't talk about others during the days or ghosts during the nighttime. Why are you so unsuperstitious? He's like, I know. You're a male virgin, so you're not afraid of ghosts. Oh my God, what does that have to do with anything? Is that a Chinese trope? And Zhou's like, no, I'm not afraid because I know I'm going to die. So it's fine not to be superstitious. Although him being afraid of blood is interesting. I liked it when KeXing makes fun of him for being afraid of blood. And he's just like, look, leave me alone. I'm squeamish. I have reasons. Which is funny. He's like, it just disgusts me. And he's like, oh, he's so precious when he fans himself and laughs. Which, he had to stick nails into his body. I cannot get over the eye rolling and expressions of exasperatedness that Zhou gives him. So then he's like, oh, well, don't be angry. I'll clean it up for you. So then he cuts the sleeve off. And I love it. He's like, that'll make it easier. Cutting the sleeve off is a Chinese euphemism for homosexual love, and it comes from a story written from the Qing dynasty. I love that Zhou does not get mad at the sleeve cutting. He just doesn't. He just goes, y'all. So I find out that the you guy's dead. The you guy be dead. So there's that. And so he is dead from the hanging ghost. But then we also find the other guy that supposedly ran away with the pieces. And he's like, don't. And I love that Zhou's like, don't get so close to me. And he's like, oh, come on now. And then we unmask him. And it's Huairen. Now, what has killed Huairen is not a stab wound from the fight that they had, but it's also something else. The sword cut wasn't the fatal injury. This wound is. But what weapon caused this injury? And that's when they get the sneaking suspicion that something's going on from the coffin house. And then that's when KeXing gives him the whole thing about owls laughing and it being a sign that something bad is going to happen. His expression is so crazy in this scene because he looks so innocent and young there about an owl's laugh. So I don't know. We don't get confirmation of what exactly killed Huairen. Was it Wen KeXing that killed him? Was it something else? We don't know. But he's like, if everyone were a cicada, who is the yellow sparrow or the praying mantis? He's like, the world is a game of chess, and every person believes themselves to be a cunning zealot who always thinks they have the upper hand. But none of them actually have any idea they're actually the tiny cicada. And Zhou is like, so if you want to say you're the yellow sparrow, then just say it. So in that way, I love that Zhou is basically like, if you want to admit that you're the one that killed him and you're the mastermind behind this, just go ahead and say it. But why aren't you being honest about yourself? And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So he's like, well, it's the middle of the night. He's like, I'm a scared little cicada. Let me go. I'm a tiny cicada afraid of ghosts. Oh my God. So they go to the coffin house, which is super creepy, by the way. This entire coffin house scene, creepy. The coffins, the paper mache, I'm sure there's a cultural significance to it, but the paper mache animals, everything about it was very creepy. And then there was the whole net that sliced through everything that was a trap. And they're like, okay. And he says, have you ever heard of the name Zhou Zishu? Why have I never heard the name of Zhou Zishu? He's like, what name are you using? Because clearly, who exactly are you? And I love that he asks him, and then he's like, well, Brother Wen, who are you? I also love how close Zhou Zishu gets when he asks him, who are you? And when KeXing's like, well, I don't want to tell you the answer to that because we're not that far into the series yet. Oh, these two are going to be the death of me. They're just so good. He's like, I'm a good person. I really am a good person. I feel like there's something to that when KeXing wants to make sure that Zhou Zishu knows that he is a good person, that he is, even though he's a ghost, he is really doing the right thing. I feel like there is something there. And he wants him to know, like, whatever happens, he's like, in the place where I come from, everyone calls me Philanthropist Wen. Philanthropist Wen makes sense because he's, speaking in poetry and seems very rhetorical. But I'm like, is he the chief? Is the chief the philanthropist? Is he the philanthropist ghost? I don't know. He seems very gracious and very merciful. So we'll see. And he's like, well, come on, Philanthropist Wen. And he's like, gladly. I am so excited to figure out what the deal is. Also, I couldn't help but make the Modao Zushi joke with the horse and the ghost horse. Very creepy. So they go and find the incense burning. I feel like the incense burning is that the hallucinogenic drug that's intoxicating people? Is that it? Because then whenever Wen goes in the house, now when Wen goes up to whoever this is, they say, I love how serious they look, like, okay, quit messing around, I'm here. And says, you have to know whom you are deceiving. Brother, you've met your match today. Like, if he's like, if you're a ghost, why are you doing this? And then the ghost turns around, but it looks exactly like him. And so he's like, oh, is this my dad? He's like, what the fudge is going on? So then, the moment that Zhou Zishu stepped out and it was snowy and like daylight, I'm like, oh, we're in a dream. We're in a hallucination. And everything felt very hallucinogenic. Like the camera angle was off and everything. So we see Zhu Zhao, his best friend, playing in the snow with this one guy who stands up and he's like, oh, Zhishu. He's like, oh, he says, Senior, you're here. And he looks around and realizes where he is, which is super cute. And he says, if your senior brother comes, he'll help me. So then he stands up. Now, Qin Huaizhong is the leader of the Four Seasons, who dies and gives his sword, White Clothes, to Zhou Zishu. That was so creepy. The fact of his giant smile was absolutely terrifying, because if you know it's a dream, it makes it have this air and layer of creepiness to it. Also, Scum Villain Self-Saving System reference. It's just a character thing, but I would imagine if they did a live action, they would hire this guy to play Yu Qingyang. Just saying. They probably would. So yeah, he comes up and he's like, do you want to build a snowman? And then Zhou is like, no, actually I don't want to build a snowman. So creepy as hell. There is a creepiness to this moment, and I'm like, nope, absolutely not. And then he's like, oh, wait, actually, you're dead, so there's no way that this can be real. And so he cuts himself, and that's when he goes back to reality, and we have zombie ghosts. So I don't know, the zombie ghosts, are their mouths? No, their mouths are just decayed, and they went after him. And so he cut back that zombie. There's a bunch of other zombies coming out of the coffins, which would align to the blood dripping from the coffin earlier. So that was a thing. And then he starts, like, killing all of these zombie ghosts. And then when KeXing is there, and you think when KeXing's back to normal, because he's like, oh, hey, bro. And he's like, no touching him, don't bully him. Which, the question is he stuck in this childlike state, reverted back to, like, his memories? Possibly. Could be. And he's like, Lao Wen, hurry and make... So Lao Wen, hurry and wake up. It's a hallucination. And he's like, I'm here. So he said Lao Wen. Is there a reason he said Lao Wen? Is Lao just a term of endearment or a term of seniority or a term of like brother Wen? I don't think Lao Wen's his actual name, is it? Probably not. So we'll see next episode. But then I love when he hides his face with a hand, like he's acting very childish. He does the fan over his face. It was really cute, but I don't like the fact that Wen KeXing is stuck in this like state of childhood regression, because then he sees the blood on his robes there, and he cuts it off because he thinks the blood, he says drug men. Like it might have a hallucinogenic effect. He's like, damn it, the scent makes people hallucinate. It's called the drunk life dream death. Okay. So it's making people hallucinate. And he's like, oh yeah, you're afraid of blood. And Zhao's like, damn it. And he says, I need you to drink this. So he's like, this will probably wake you up. And then he's like, oh, what is it? He's like, is it treacle? Is it sweet? I love the way that Zhou looks at him. It's so sweet. It's like the sweetest thing. Like that smile. Oh my God. Like just the innocence on his face is adorable. Oh my God. I love how innocent he is. Oh, just shut up. Slay me now. Both of you need to stop it. Just stop it. So he drinks it, but obviously it's not sweet because it's probably trying to get him to wake up, right? And he makes him like swallow it. And that's when he says, Zhou Zishu, you lied to me. I'm going to go tell my mom. And he runs off, and Zhou's like, wait, what did he call me just now? How did he know my name? When did he know my name? I think he's known all along. He just was waiting for Zhou to admit it. Anyway, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. I want some answers next week. I want some answers of why Wen KeXing how he's known his name for this long. What's going on? I'm hoping we get some answers next week, but I also love the idea of Zhou Zishu helping Wen KeXing to get out of this hallucination, because I think that that's going to be interesting, to say the least. And I'm so curious where we're going with this story, but yeah, I'm going to leave Whiteboard Coon up for now, but I'm so excited to hear your comments down below. I love this episode. I love this series, and I can't wait to see where we go to from here. So in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back very soon with more of Word of Honor. Bye!